What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Deep End Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Eddie, and I am overwhelmed with appreciation for my new listeners. Thank you so much. If you have a story you like to share here at Off the Deep End, please do reach out to our Facebook page and let's chat. Let's talk about if you have a story to share, if you have, you know, experiences to give to the rest of the world, please do. But unfortunately, I hate to say it, it's not about you today. It's about my brother, Carlton James. I'm so excited to have him on today, not just to share his story, but also to talk about artistry, to talk about flow cadence, the things that contribute to being not just an artist, but an entertainer. I think we need a lot more entertainers in the world and people that don't just have fortified skills when it comes to how to read words over a beat. It's not special. What separates this guy? You'll have to honestly go to his music and check it out because it moves the room and MC does mean move the crowd. So without further ado, let's get straight into our conversation. Much love to y'all and thank you always for listening. Are you thinking about making a podcast? Spotify has a platform that lets you make one, and if I can figure it out, you definitely can too. You can create your own content all in one place for free with zero hangups and even earn money as soon as you get started. Spotify lets you record and edit episodes from your phone or computer so you can go mobile, just like I enjoy to do. My favorite thing about it is that you can create video episodes if you wish and upload them to wherever podcasts are heard. You can even set up subscriptions or, if you're like me, listener support options for listeners to help you grow. I 10 out of 10 recommend the Spotify for Podcasters app. Or, why don't you just step over to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started on your own podcast.
Already had
All right,
already
so
had
I'm here with my brother. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to time travel with another person who is not just a vet, but is also musically inclined. You have a lot of different things that stand out to me about your music, and it says on your social media you're not just an artist, you're also an entertainer.
tell
So
them about it, Eddie.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that because there's a lot of people just get on stage and they can sing or they can rap or they can dance or play the harmonica, and that's real special. But what do you do to move the crowd? MC means move the crowd, and you definitely do it. So thank you
Come
so much for
on.
joining me.
Oh no, I am so honored to actually be here. I thank you for, you know, being not only an active fan, but somebody who wanted to take the time out of their actual day and be like, hey, I want to have dialogue and conversation with you and let the people know what I see in you. So I am honored, my G. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So I have to know. Let's roll it back maybe just over a couple 20 years. So why don't we talk about your childhood? What was it that inspired you? Was there someone who shaped you to be a booming personality or musically inclined? Was it Whitney Houston in the car? For me, I can still remember right now my mom screaming Fantasia's When I See You in the front seat of the car and
As
me
she
just
should.
laughing and God, music is such a big part of my life. Tell me about yours.
So, music was always a thing of my family. I would like to say that I was raised on it even before I was brought into the world. Like in the womb, my parents were always the entertainers of wherever they were at. Okay, like whether people were coming to our house enjoying our festivities or they were going to family events, things of that nature, they were always that duo that everybody knew was going to turn up the spot. So I can remember watching a video, me being in my mom's womb, 6 months pregnant, her and my daddy just going at it, bopping and dropping, like giving it to each other. And I'm like, girl, was you not worried you was gonna hurt me in there? And she was like, no, I had three. Okay, so I knew you was gonna be fine. So, and a story that she just loves to tell everybody, like when she gave birth to me, she was like, look, we was driving on the way to the hospital. I was driving. She said she got out. She had me. She said when she had me, it was like I was breakdancing out of her. And I said, yeah, that's what you get for shaking that rump your whole pregnancy. So like after hearing that story and just seeing the pictures of my a younger me and knowing that when I was like 2 and 3, I would just, hear songs and just sing them or just perform in front of the family. And everybody's like, go Cee Jay, go Cee Jay. Everybody would tell me when I was younger that I was going to be something big. And I just wish I had the resources, I wish my family had the resources to actually had invested in me at a younger age, because hey, I would have been on, but I say everything happens for a reason. So that's why we working hard today, getting it like we get it. So yeah, that part of it all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I really admire that because it reminds me of my childhood growing up as well. Seeing my grandpa Charlie, he had this whole record room, and it's now my house because I purchased it. But his house, they had it all downstairs loaded with records, thousands of records. And I remember he got the biggest speakers he could buy, and he was bumping, bumping, bumping. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Um, oh God, run, Charlie, run. The niggas are coming. All these songs that were critical to today's music and the different genres. It transcends time and space. And so that's something that really stands out about me. I love that your family was into music and appreciating life and always celebrating. I love that.
Yeah, I definitely had like a lot to look forward to at a young age. Like everybody, like I said, would come to my house for holidays or family events, and we would be the party, and I just had a lot to look to. And as far as when it came to inspiration as a young child, all I would say the biggest entertainer of my time at a young age was probably Michael Jackson. So that was somebody who I would imitate. I can remember my 5th grade Black History program. Like, I had the whole Michael Jackson Rock My World section to myself. And when I tell you, nobody knew who I was before that day. But after that, everybody was like, look, young Michael, look, little Michael.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so entertaining was always a thing for me, and it just grew to bloom to a bigger thing. And we're just trying to captivate on it at this, big age.
Absolutely. 100%. So you're in your teenage years. You're in middle school, you're in high school. What was it like for you there? Tell me, were you as completely, center of the room, everybody's watching you. I would call you the focal point of any room and you walk into, or were you shy? What was it for you?
All right, Eddie, now you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it if you had to see with your own eyes, but I definitely was a little timid one, okay? Um, and I would say that probably was because I was going to somewhere where I haven't been for 6+ years, going from pre-K to 5th grade in the same building, you get comfortable there. So going to a whole nother level of knowing different people in different communities being joined within each other, I definitely was a little, on eggshells. So when it came to being in middle school, I don't think until I want to say 8th grade, until they started issuing out Apple laptops to us, is when I started like really letting people know, hey, I actually am a out of the shell kind of person. I do music and stuff. Of course, we had dances and things of that nature where that would give me a chance to get out my shell and show people, hey, I like to groove and move. I know I'm a little quiet and stuff, but put me in the right area, I'll be able to shine. And
Mhm.
everybody knew me for that. Everybody knew me for Carson gonna be the one who gonna dance his ass off. Carson gonna be the one who gonna, entertain. And it just went from middle school on up. They started having programs and stuff where I was able to get involved. And I would just say, one, because I'm trying to get it to. But yeah, so with middle school, it definitely was a sense of being comfortable around a whole new group of people, because with elementary, you're just with your neighborhood basically. As far as middle school, they involving you with everybody in different districts and everything. So graduating from that on into high school, everybody already kind of had a sense of who I was. And I would only say what kind of like held my popularity. I don't know if that's the word I want to use, but that basically made me known was I know how to show out when it was time to show out.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
being the life of the party, enjoying
Yeah.
yourself. When I find that there's always a couple people in every single clique or group or association of friendship where one person stands out and it inspires other to find themselves and to enjoy life, not to get wrapped up in the small things, the drama, whatever. Celebrate life. If we look at New Orleans, how beautiful is it that they celebrate life on that level, to where there's festivals in the streets, and
Hmm.
to Carnival, where there's parties and celebrations of everything that has to do with music, dancing, food, culture is what I would identify it as, right? So you create culture on a small level and it blooms because you have other people inspired to invest in that culture with you, and they get to find themselves by you identifying who you are.
Exactly. And as far as like when it came to like my music, I tried to dibble and dabble in things of that nature. It just wasn't on the level that we are at right now, you know. Of
Mhm.
course, it was something that I always had a passion for, but you know, when you don't have when you feel as if you don't have enough support group at that young age, you don't want to kind of tap out of it and probably venture on to other things. So I got into acting and dealing with things of that nature. And I drew a blank. Sorry, Eddie. I apologize, my G.
It's all good, man. I got into acting as well in middle school and throughout high school. I was in I did a lot of different music programs. I did Young Americans. I don't know if you heard about that, but they travel around and they give you, it's a summer program. They give you and everybody who's in the program 3 days, 72 hours to literally put together a concert for your families, for people who want to show up and support you. We were singing the Beatles. We were doing Will Smith, the Men in Black song. I had at least 6 solos. I had no voice the day of because I was young and dumb and didn't know to drink tea or how to rest your voice or warming up properly. And back then I could sing. So now obviously my balls dropped and my musical voice went
Ah,
away.
that's
my
what
voice
I'm saying. A
my
younger
voice
me
is
used to
gone,
be able to
man.
sing.
Uh-huh. But wow, how great it was to be involved in different programs, to have a variety of experiences surrounding something I love and appreciate, which is music. Playing the violin, the cello, the piano, all these things were considered nerdy, but to me, they were my expression of pain, of passionate things that I felt of. And sometimes you just gotta play a little Usher on the violin for fuck them up. Why not?
You know what? And that's another thing that I like to take notice to, because the person that you see today was not the person that was in middle school or high school. Of course, I had the personality and I had, the talent and things of that nature, but when it came down to being put in those situations to show it, nobody really believed in me. I always had to believe in myself, and I really hated that growing up. Like I remember auditioning for Fences, I want to say. And I know one thing about it and two things for sure. A motherfucker can act, okay? I act like I want to be here. No, I'm playing, Eddie. I'm glad that I'm here. But I know what I can bring to, you see how I got you, huh? I
You
know
got
what I
my
can
ass,
bring
man.
to the table, bro. And when I was put on the spot to do my whole scene and everything, I thought I ate, but people don't people I I don't want to blame it on my sexual orientation, but I want to say that always does play a factor in if somebody's going to take me serious or if they're going to want to, gamble on this human being. They always don't take into accountability what I can bring. They always want to take what will other people think of what will other people think of this
Mm.
situation.
So they look at it
You
from
know,
an
there's
optical
so many
standpoint,
words. Yeah.
and they look. But I think that optic is, like, obviously I go shooting all the time. I got optics on all my guns. Their optics must be broken because looking at who someone loves can never, absolutely never impact the greatness they can bring to this life at all. So I would say there are, we can go off stereotypes or whatever, but it's a horrible idea to look at somebody for who they are and who they might love and say, oh, well, this might not look good to a bunch of people who are up in somebody else's business worrying about who they sleep with. That's not appropriate, especially,
It's not.
mm-mm.
It's not. But when you think about it and put it to a bigger scale, how many gay males are playing straight males and how many straight males are paying gay males?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see.
And it didn't take me till this big age to realize that it's always going to be that thought process, of people. Like, how are we going to take this actor seriously in this role if that's not who they play outside of this? But that, and it is like it's like a, it's basically a hypocritical situation because that person is there to act. So if they can make you believe that it shouldn't take their personal life to take you out of that whole situation.
Absolutely. 100%. And it's a false reality that people are living in when they think that when you're acting, when you're creating art, that you need to sleep with a woman or a man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a horrible idea. And something I admire about Tom Hardy. Somebody once asked him if he was gay because he's never seen, being all flashy with women on the red carpet. He just shows up alone or whatever. And I think that his reaction to telling them to pretty much fuck off was beautiful because
Okay.
one, that is not just because you're not one thing, you can't be another thing. Maybe he likes to keep his family business private. Like Sia, for years, she hid her face because she didn't want her family or
Hmm.
her berated through the streets.
I love that about her.
Hmm. Absolutely, and I'm glad she's comfortable with it now, because I wish the world was more respectful of other people's lives. And I know for me growing up, I didn't always see things from an enlightened sense of view. It took me being in the military to be around a bunch of other people with different sexual orientations for me to understand that, regardless of the societal norm where we're supposed to be bigots and trash talk people or dehumanize them because they like somebody who, has the same shit under their pants as them. It's not appropriate, and I'm 1,000% against treating people like that differently. I didn't give a shit if you were
That's
gay or
my
not. You know, in a
appreciated.
I know, my brother. I wouldn't give a shit if a firefighter showed up to put out my fire in my house. I don't care what they look like or who they are or if they're. I don't care
Right?
what
I need you
percentage
to
of Native
save my
American
damn
they are.
house.
Save my damn house, man, please. Shit, I can't do it. So what so did that ever get resolved with you and your acting coaches or
It didn't get resolved until I got in college. I actually my major was business at first, and I was like, I know goddamn well I don't want no basic ass business major. And I was like, I really want to do something that I'm gonna be interested in. So I was like, they ain't really got no music program I really want to touch on because it hoes ain't hoes ain't giving what I need them to give out here. So I was like, you know what? Let me go dip into theater major. Since I wasn't able to do it in high school, how about I try and dip into it in college. So, oh my gosh, that was like the most greatest experience of my life. So, met my director Damon Jingo. Um, Now there's a lot of people that say a lot of things about that man, but I have nothing bad to say about him personally. Everybody has their own experience with people. My experience with him was a great one. Although, you know, he worked the hell out of us. He made sure that we gave a great show any and every time. And I love that he gave me a platform to show myself that, hey, how you can actually do this shit, you know?
Pressure
Like,
makes diamonds.
oh my yikes. And I was shining bright. No, Rihanna, okay? Like literally, like my first play I want to say that we did was Godspell, and lo and behold, it was a motherfucking musical. And one thing about me and two things for sure, I'm like, okay, everybody know me for rapping. That's what most people know me for, but nobody knows that I actually like to sing. I mean, if you know me, I give singing a shower type vibes, you know, when I'm actually singing. But I can hold a note here and there. You know, I can give you a little hoo hoo, a little do re mi fa sol la ti do, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But so he gave me a part in Godspell, and like it was a very vocal part where a hoe had to sing and stuff of that nature, and people were shook and shocked when they heard the kid hitting the notes and all them things of that nature. And it just made me more comfortable with, okay, hey, you know, if somebody can believe in you, why not can't you believe in yourself? So I started, you know, dabbling into more music when it came down to that being an outlet, you know, that made me feel comfortable enough where if I'm getting all these, you know, kudos from everybody else, why can't I, you know, do that for myself? So
Mm.
started digging into my music then, and it just became a more graduated project. Like I started doing lead roles. I remember this one role, oh my gosh, that I can never forget, that I am so mad that is not on footage to today. It was called, and I want you to go look at this movie. It was called Daddy's Dying, Who Got the Wheel, right? And I played Mama Wheelies, and it was just, I, although it was like a play off of Medea, it was a character that I took onto myself, and everybody just loved it. It was something that I am proud of, and I will never let die down. Um, and I just wish that I could, you know, just tap into that, you know, at this big age. I can't wait till the time comes. And when you paying, you know, $7 to be like, did a, I did a conversation with this motherfucker. I did a podcast with him, and look at me. Well, you probably get free tickets. I'll probably send you free tickets, you know.
You know what? You
You
know what?
might
You
get the
send me free
VIP
tickets. I
from the
might. I'm gonna
team.
show up. I'll pull up.
Pull
If
up
my
to the
finances are good
premiere.
standings,
We're
I'm gonna
gonna
pull
talk
up.
about it.
Yes, Lord. Well, I love that. I love that for you. I think it's great that you're able to articulate something that really stands out to me. Across the board from individuals, but nobody ever vocalizes it like the way you did. When you have people who invest in you, energy into you and believe in you and
Yes.
want to support you, you're gonna want to support yourself too. All you need is a little bit of motivation to turn it into dedication for yourself or discipline. You know, in the so for the fitness industry, discipline with dieting and fitness and all that. With shooting, you have to do reps upon reps upon reps. With being a great human being, all you have to do is try your hardest. And I wish more people felt that love, that appreciation, that they water your grass so that your grass can grow
Yes.
great.
Yes. And it wasn't I really feel like it wasn't until college and like the Navy until I really felt that I was getting what I needed as a person of entertainment. You know, somebody somebody is not able you're not able to shine unless somebody put light on you, you know? And when it came down to like my college days, I had such a great group of people who were able to keep giving me affirmations like,
Mm.
yes, Carlton, you are amazing. Don't doubt yourself. And to still have those same people in my circle, oh my gosh, is amazing. Like one person that I can actually mention is Anicia Gordon. Her artist name though is the voice of the Black Sheep. Oh no, Lord, too, actually. Her and Brianna Juanita. She is the hood terrorist also. So your favorite hood terrorist. So I just want to make sure I shout those two people out because I met them I met them in college and we did shows together, and they are people who I still have near and dear to me, who keep giving me who I can send my music to and I can give constructive criticism from, and they're able to give me that feedback that I need to apply to my music, to where when I put it out, motherfuckers are like, oh yeah, he started real hard on this, real hard. He had great, people in his background to say, yeah, motherfucker, this the one, you know.
Absolutely. You definitely need those people in your corner to check you when you're on the precipice of greatness. There's only a lot of times we hold ourselves up with, okay, maybe I should try this instead of this, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe you don't think it's the right thing. Having that person on the that high jump board into the swimming pool to give you a little shove, and oh shit, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm falling. Might as well try to make it look pretty, right? So
Yeah.
that is exactly one of the things that has helped me personally in my life, having a great team. I love the veteran community here in Washington State. I love God, where would I be without my wife? The person who has supported me through deployment, through everything that was going on, the turmoil in my life. When I'm at the lowest of my
Amazing.
low, she raises me up. And having that foundation of friendship that me and her have, where she's able to look at me not just
Shout
as her
out to
husband and
Mrs.
say,
Lowry.
"Shout out to Miss
Okay.
Lowry," but she looks at me and says, "Hey, you need to you need to be better in this because I know you can do better. You got to apply yourself more. You're half-assing it."
Yes.
That is what is needed sometimes to be great.
Real. Because yes man's only gonna get you so far. You really need some ayo mans. Like, ayo, this probably would be better, or ayo, you need to get more on your shit, or ayo, why you stop doing this? Get on your grind, because motherfuckers are paying attention and you are the one who needs to be getting noticed.
100%, absolutely. So you mentioned something that I wanted to. I didn't know if we were going to talk about it today, but I'm gonna roll the dice here and ask you. So what led you to join the Navy?
Ay, 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 ay. All right, people tuning in. Okay, is y'all ready for a story chat? Because I got one for y'all. So, one thing about the two things for sure, obviously, the kid don't sound nothing like a motherfucking Navy veteran, okay? And I mean, what does the Navy veteran sound like though? But
I sound just
I
like
would
you.
think somebody stern, or somebody who, give us his kudos. But what happened to me and what made me join the military? What had happened in my life was that I was working two jobs once upon a time. A motherfucker was trying to work three because I was like, hey yo, I gotta get a how I live. So I was working, I was like a supervisor at Walmart, at McDonald's, and then I was shift leader at Academy, and I was applying to be part-time at Lowe's. So a motherfucker was wearing all these hats because at a point in time in my life, I was living with my cousin trying to get on my own, and things just wasn't, going as expected. I had my own place at one point in time, but life just was having its ways with me, and I didn't want to
It's
go back
hard.
living.
It ain't how it used to be when our parents were growing up and they were like, "Hey, you're 18, you're good." That's how their
Yes,
parents were, but because they could. Gas is
yes.
$9 an hour. It's $9 a gallon right now in California. Ain't that some shit?
That's
Times is
some
hard.
that's a toilet right there, okay?
That's a,
That's toilet paper.
times is
Gas,
hard.
gas, hey bro, gas was fucking 3.15 over here. I had added Biden on Twitter and was like, you said it was going down, it went 20 motherfucking cents up. The fuck you
Man,
mean? But
oh
it went down
god.
10 cents, so he must have heard me. He
Hey,
must have
shit.
felt me.
Shit.
But no, so was working all those jobs, just trying to get my life right, and I just wasn't happy with what things was going on. So I'm working at Academy, right? And I see these people in this blue camouflage, and I'm like, oh my God, that would look so good on me because blue is my favorite color. And I was like, that is so fucking cute. You know, not paying in no mind though, because I'm like, baby, one thing about it, two things for sure, I am not no Navy hoe. Okay. I'm not even military. I don't like listening to people. I don't like being told what to do. Okay. But I don't know how this lady came in my motherfucking line being a Casanovas. Okay, so she start checking out in my line and she's like, hey, I'm greeting her, being the person that I am, the bubbly personality. Hi, how are you doing today? Is this all that I can get for you? At the end of this transaction, can you do a survey for me in order so I can get me a $20 raise or whatever the case may be, what it was at the time. I gave her my little spiel and she was like, oh my gosh, have you ever thought about, joining the Navy? I said, excuse me, no ma'am. I haven't, black people in water don't go too well. I mean, I know how to swim, but I'm the best swimmer, you know? So she giggled, she kicked, and she was like, oh my gosh, I think you would be perfect. She was like, no, you just have a great, this is a great opportunity, even if you don't want to do it, just come check me out. So I kicked about that. I said, me and the Navy. One thing about it, and two things for sure. I don't think it's going that way. So life goes on. My birthday comes around, right? And when I tell you it was one of the worst birthdays I ever had in my life, like I could remember like it was yesterday. I don't want to go too far into the details, but it just was something that I wasn't a fan of. A best friend that I wasn't a friend with dropped my cousin off and barely wanted to tell me happy birthday. It was just so awkward. It was just an awkward situation, and I wasn't happy with it. And I was like, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? Because hoes think they got a hold on Carlton. They think they can handle Cee Jay. I'm gonna go to the Navy. Yeah. And I'm gonna just disappear off Texas and just go and find me a life.
Mm-hmm.
Lord,
Absolutely.
and that's what I did. That's what I did. But that motherfucking recruiter, who she don't even want to talk to me today, Miss Flanagan. I'm looking for you, Miss Ma'am. She don't even want to talk to me today because she knew she set me up for failure. She ain't set me up for failure because everybody have their own choice and things of that nature. But she ain't tell me. She hit me with the pros. She ain't hit me with all of the cons. You
Yes.
know.
That's how they
So
do.
a motherfucker had to make it out of. He had to make it what it do.
Absolutely, man. Well, so you obviously you got in the Navy. They don't talk about the cons. There's so many different aspects in it. I talk about it quite a bit. I was more interested in hearing what you did to bring you right back once you got done with the Navy, right? Because you're leaving the military. A lot of people have difficulty, right? We all leave for the
Hmm.
military for different reasons. Sometimes it's to escape a certain situation. Other times it's to like for me personally, I had nothing. I left for the Navy with my orders, a knife in case I had to kill somebody, my current wife, for a few former girlfriends, address so I could write a letter.
Hold on, Eddie, hold on. Run it back again. What
I
happened?
left I let okay, well, I got into a pretty tough with so 7 days before leaving for the military, I had a little
Yeah,
bit of an issue with one of
yeah.
my family members. My father, he got heavily intoxicated. Um, and he ended up running up into my room, and me and him got it. We started squabbling pretty tough. Um,
That's crazy.
in front of my mother. My mother was trying to
Oh.
stop it. He was belligerent, and unfortunately, my blood. I when we were fighting, his blood got all over my mom. I had difficulty breathing for a couple days after. I had choke marks. He had busted face. I had busted face. I had blood all over my shirt. I sh- and I
And that's 7 days before you were going
it,
to
to boot camp for the Navy.
MEPS
Yeah, no, to boot camp, like just
boot
going.
camp.
And and that happened to me, and it was in front of my best friend. He was petrified. He didn't know what to do. My mom was it was a very traumatic
That's,
experience for her, and for
I
and
hate that
and
that
he's
happened to you, my guy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, and I'm able to talk about it now. But for me back then, it was a source of a lot of pain for me, right? Because that's supposed to be, my leader, my protector, the person who shows
Yeah.
you right from wrong. And when you get drunk as shit and you come upstairs on his going away party to the military, and you just go hands on with him out of nowhere, not even a word, just go hands on, and then you choke him. You know, I'm I'm not a bitch. I'm gonna strike back,
Mhm.
and it happened, right? So, but that happened. I left for the military with because like we were past fighting at that point, and
Mhm.
there was some threats made on his side, and I wasn't going to take them lightly. So yeah, I left for the Navy. I left my knife in a bush outside of the airport. I just threw it the knife because and I had my orders, I had my cell phone, my address, and I left for the military, and that's all I had. But a lot of people
Right.
live,
That's
a
all
lot
you
of
do
people,
have, just you in that damn packet.
yeah. hmm And when I came back, I had somebody who loved me beyond measurements, and who I could trust. And then me. And I didn't have shit. So my transition was difficult because I didn't expect to even get out of the military. I was doing really good. But what was that transition like for you? Because I know it can be different for everybody. Transitioning out of the military is exceptionally personal. It can be
Mhm.
difficult. We send our nation's men and women to literal war, to do war shit. The shit that they put in
Yeah.
Hollywoods is so watered down. There's sugar added to it, and it's given back to you with a smile. There's nothing that can really amount to the experiences that we have, the things that we do, the crazy, horrible, toxic leaders, and the good ones that we are stripped from when we leave, our new family that we create with our friends. What was that like for you coming back?
Okay, so my transit. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, before we get into it, Eddie, you want to take a shot with me so
Let's
we
take a
can,
shot. Let's take a shot.
indulge?
I'm all for it.
All right. Cheers. Cheers to
Cheers
growth and all that great shit.
to growth and all that great shit.
All right.
Well, that's smooth.
All right. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So my transition, it really wasn't too bad because people was already waiting for me to come home. People was mad that I joined the military. And they was like, "You really gonna leave us?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I was trying to build something outside of myself. And I was really running away from my problems when I should have just addressed them because at the end of the day, they wind up following me anyway, you know? So, and so being that my term wasn't too long, I don't think I got too involved with the whole mindset of what the military can do to you.
Mm.
But, you know, I still fell a victim to those effects, if that
Okay.
makes any sense.
A
I
hundred
want to
percent.
make sure I'm very, I'm very, to all the listeners, please, give me, what's the word I'm looking for?
Some grace.
Please, yeah, please give me grace and bear with me, okay, when I break these things down. So when it came to transitioning out, like I was saying, people were already waiting for me to come home. I did 2.5 years. So I didn't. I was offered to complete my whole term, but I know as me as a person, and I know just with my mental and just how I felt about how things were moving, that I wouldn't do great things. So
Mhm.
that's why I wanted to get out. So got
Okay.
home. Family welcomed me with open arms. Friends were glad to see me. It just felt like a reunion. I actually went live because I want to say and it's so crazy. I got kicked out like right around Christmas time. So people wasn't expecting for me to come around. Like it was whispers and stuff. But when I showed up for Christmas with a motherfucking Christmas hat on, and saying I'm home for good, people was like, "Oh, this is the best Christmas present ever." So we turned up. We had a great motherfucking time. I surprised a lot of people, and it's so crazy that I still have this footage because I'm not even cool with these people no more. That is so crazy. How life happens. And that's what I want to just add with my transition, because a lot of people expected me to be the same that I was before I went into the military, but the military really instilled in me to not let others really treat you like shit, because
Mm.
that's what some people intend to do. Not a lot of them, but a great majority, not a great majority, but you know, those people who you are under chain of command, they have a great amount of people who tend to want to treat you a certain way just because they can, you know? So when I got out,
You know, you touched on something I just wanted to make sure we visit it. You just spoke about something that a lot of people hold in shame or hold in guilt. You know, bottom line, and I think that any veteran across the United States of America should agree with this. The military is not for everybody, and it's
mm-hmm,
good. It's good to know yourself. It's also good to take lessons from the people who were good leaders. It's also good to take, lessons from understanding your self-worth, because when you
yes,
leave, you really you look at your phone for those text messages. And not like, oh, who misses me, but you look at your text messages and for months. I'd get one or two people texting me for months on a time. Nobody even responded to me. I'd reach out to people. I had two text messages in over 30. I remember specifically over 30 days, and I had only two people I talked to. And
oh, we're gonna have to
those
fix
things
that.
last. Those things last. So
No,
returning
they
back, I
actually do.
understand.
They actually do. Like, and I'm not gonna it I'm not gonna lie, there's definitely with some people who I can give the kudos to, that I served underneath, like Chief Burnett. Oh my gosh, that's one person who I still keep in contact with today. I can't wait until we go on this Las Vegas trip, baby. We're gonna have a time for our life. Okay. And then that's the only person that I can give a pat on their back who made sure that a sailor was, cared for and worried about. I
Mm,
know sometimes when they have a bad sailor, that probably can fuck up their eval or whatever the case may be. But it's like, outside of this, I'm a human being. You
100%.
know, we supposed to look at this shit as a job, but y'all be looking at this shit as life. And you're gonna have to retire one day. You ain't gonna be able to be in this shit forever. You're gonna have to retire one day. So when it got time to me getting out and getting back into actually getting into the real world, applying for a 9 to 5 like a regular person, it really wasn't no phase to me, because I had people in my corner who were willing to provide those opportunities to me. So I was able to start working at Walmart as a Cap 2 supervisor. I thank Ashley for that. She was able to get me on. Um, I was able to still be able to do my music and shit, because before I transitioned out and things of that nature, I was already going to open mics in Virginia. And I want to give, damn, I'm giving kudos to everybody. I want to give
Please
a
do.
motherfucking shout out to Sophia Knight, because she was the one who brought me to, I want to say the place was called Cypher Tuesdays, and it was called Train Station at Newport News. Their nights on Tuesdays they would do open mics, and she brought me to one of those, and it just, when you have people that believe in you, when you have people that actually want to shine a light on you, it makes you become more better in that expertise that you're really supposed to be in. So did my first performance there, and it just became like a weekly thing, and I was able to get live performances. I was able to build on my craft. I was able to drop my first mixtape, and transitioned out and started digging into more things, started digging into my community, going to painting events and performing there. It just became a bigger outlet for my life. And I am an advocate for everything happens for a motherfucking reason. So I feel like the path that I'm on it for a reason. I wasn't able to get those resources when I was younger because I wasn't supposed to be on when I was younger. I wasn't able to get those resources when I was in middle school because I wasn't supposed to have them when I was in middle school, high school, college, on up. Now is the time for me to take all that knowledge, all those lessons, all those ups and downs, all those trials and tribulations that I had to go through and learn and apply it to when I actually do get in front of these big wigs, industry people, and all these motherfucking executives. And I'm like, hey, either you signing me for 5 million because I know I'm going to make that times 50, or I'm not signing at all.
Mm. I absolutely love that. God, absolutely love that for you. That is exactly what I'd hope for you. And not just the 5 million. I hope for much more than 5 million. I hope for all the money. I hope you
Yeah.
get, sponsorships, everything. And
We trying
something
to invent a whole new word like quadrazillion, you know?
100%, 100%. And I really love your music. I love your outlook on the transition and how it worked for you and how everything happens for a reason. Sometimes life doesn't give us the certain achievements or acknowledgments that we look for because we're looking for them. When we earn them, they show up. And that's how life is. Life, when you work hard at something, when you are mastering your craft, that is when the
Yes,
mastery shows up. It's not it's not
yes,
when you're it's not when you don't have it figured out. And I really love that you were able to put that into words. I admire that you were able to have a successful transition. There's so many ups and downs that veterans in this world face, and that people who have experienced the military at all face. But you're able to double down on, and double and completely just redo. Say, you know what? I'm a double or nothing. This is my bet. I bet on me, and
yes,
articulate on your skills. I love that.
yes. And it's just that I realized that a constant factor was always that if anything, I knew that I always wanted to entertain. You know, I always knew that that was something that I wanted for myself, and I'm going to get that for myself. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Well, you're a triple threat. You're a singer, actor, and a rapper, right? So,
Dang it. Hey, okay, I dance too, you know.
oh, you did. Oh
I don't leave
shit!
that
Look out.
out. I get down on the
Yes, you
floor too.
do.
Look.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Lord knows. Shit. One thing that
Don't
stands
give me
out
a
to me,
stage because I'm gonna use all of it. Okay.
you know what? One thing that stands out to me about you is not just your charisma, but also the goddamn high school reunion videos. I didn't even get an invite to my high school reunion.
What?
I missed it. Everyone was like, "Where were you at? We wanted to see you," and I was pissed because I would have brought all the airplane shots, and it would have got
Wait,
torn
hold
up.
on. What you mean to tell me you ain't get invited?
Yes. Well, the lady who was our school president who hated me, I guess. I don't know. I
Oh,
found out that later,
oh,
but she didn't invite me to it. But seeing you strut and command your entry song was bulletproof. You know what? I love it. I love it. I love it. I could not
it,
stop laughing.
and what's really crazy is that none of that was planned. It was really just even the song wasn't even playing because you know me, I'd probably walk out to Nicki Minaj.
Oh
But
yes, Lord, the Queen.
they was hey, they was playing Meg, and I was like, you know what? If anything go one, two thing about it, I'm gonna show these motherfuckers that I came to step. So when it came down to it, I was like, we here. I know everybody looking at me because I got the purple suit and the purple hair. So I might as well show them what the fuck they came to look for. And
Oh yes.
for that to have gone as viral as it did, I wasn't expecting that either. Like people, like I said, people are still talking about that shit to today. And
I'm trying to
we
step into
got
2023 like that, but I got a late start, but I'm still trying. I'm still trying. It is what it is. So what can we
stepping with the
expect for you in the
steppers.
future? What does the future look like for you? Obviously, you're continuing to improve and work on your craft. I love the
Yes,
the new
sir.
stuff you put out last week. Um, I was just
Yes,
listening.
sir.
Put your hands where my eyes can see. Just on the way home, right before I listened to other ones before that, and I listened to Act Up Challenge. I was going through the whole list, the whole list of all the stuff that you have. Where can people find you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, it's confused. There's a lot of Cee Jays out there, but there's only one that I remember, and it's you. So where can people find you on YouTube?
There's only one you're gonna remember, right? You said where can they find me?
Yes, on YouTube.
Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, like you said, there is a lot of CJs out there, so I wouldn't recommend looking up just CJ.
Hmm.
However, if you put in Imaginations Run Deep, that will get you to my whole channel, and that's Imaginations. If you know how to spell imagination, don't make me spell it, y'all. I've been
They,
drinking
they,
and I've
they,
been
they can
sipping.
Google it. They
I
can
couldn't
Google it.
beat a adult spelling bee right now.
Yeah,
But
it's okay.
yeah, runs deep, so
Mhm.
if you put that into your search box right there on the YouTube, it should pop up my whole channel. But yeah, you mentioned that put your hands where my eyes can see, and I just had to let them know niggas ain't fucking with C no more,
Yes, I love it. I
trying
love
to
it.
trying to outcast me. No Andre 3 triple O,
Hmm.
but here another there, y'all should dip into that. That is the newest things that I have dropped. The Put Your Hands on My Eyes Can See and the Bust It Open. um but since we're talking about it, I did just get a new mic in last week, my G, and the energy that I got from that, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to send it to you, Eddie, so you can hear for your
Please do.
private, on listening parties, so you can give me some criticism from that. But
Okay.
yeah, hook that thing up on my on the day I got off, and made 6 songs that whole night.
Yes, I know you are playing in the studio.
Made
You
six
should.
songs
You
in like
pulled
three
up.
hours, I want to say.
Yeah, you pulled up. No, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
wasn't playing with these hoes. I wasn't playing with them. As soon as you and me get off the phone, I'm going to make this Uchi Wally C mix, and I'm going to tap on this other song that I got to, work on.
I love
Because
your
the
C
kid
mixes.
is going hard this motherfucking year. They finna feel me and fear me because I'm a problem. And ain't nobody gonna be able to solve me. Okay,
Yes, Lord.
once I get where I gotta go.
Go off. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
don't tell me because I will, okay? We'll be on this hoe for 2 hours.
Hey, I had one that went 5. It is what it is. We were drunk as hell, but we
Ah, hey, no, I definitely went scrolling through your Spotify playlist, and I said, wait a minute now. I don't know if I could talk this goddamn long, but I can see why. It's the comfortability.
yes.
You bring it out of the people. I was nervous as fuck. Y'all probably heard it in probably 20 minutes ago, my nervousness and me stumbling over things, but you brought out a family feel. It feel like I'm having a conversation with my cousin
Thank you.
from the
You know what? You
dungeon.
know what? You should might as well call me that from now on. It is what it is. We're cousins now. It is what
Pussy!
it is. You know what? You being in the military, I just want to say it will always open up doors for you. You know
Mm,
what? I
you
don't
ain't never
care how
lying.
I don't care how it ended. I don't care on what terms you feel about certain people. I will what I do because I support you in that shit. Fuck them. If it's fuck them, it's fuck them. But as far as we're concerned, I will always not just try to support you, but also I want to let you know that you're someone I'm someone you can lean on if you ever going through a tough time because we need more people who understand how we feel.
I appreciate that.
We ripped ourselves, knowingly or not, out of the universe, plugged us into another matrix, and it didn't always go smooth, right? So
You,
anything you ever need, please let me know. So what's in the future for you? Because I know that we talked about you working and applying more pressure with your music, and you have
yeah,
been.
bro.
You spent 6 songs in one session. That is exactly the type of stuff that professionals do. They prepare
Hands up.
outside of it. Just like me with shooting, I dry fire at home, and then when I go to the range, I'm hitting everything I should shoot at usually. So articulation, reps, focusing on your craft, it can have great and beautifully fruitful outcome, right? What's in the future for you?
So what I have planned so far is I like I was saying, I just started getting some new studio equipment in, and I've just been dabbling with that. And yeah, I pushed out 6 new projects that I'm going to send to you, so you can give me some criticism from. Um, Other than that, what I wanted to start tapping into was like in live home performances. So I bought me this little ring light to where I'm gonna start recording my performances and then try and like put the audio track underneath it, you know, kind of like tiny desk kind of little
Mm,
feel. Hopefully nobody steal my motherfucking idea because I ain't copyrighted it yet, motherfuckers. So don't y'all dare. But
okay.
yeah, that's that's what's in the works so far. I am working on my project. I am Cee Jay. I don't know if that's the official name that we're gonna go with, but yeah, I just released that thing on y'all. So yeah, y'all know what the next mixtape name is coming in as in it. So, but that's what I'm working on so far. I've been working on this mixtape for 2 years now. Um, and I have a lot of tracks that I just want to, you know, give out to the world. It's a lot of mediocre out there, and I don't want motherfuckers thinking that that's what I'm presenting because I am not a mediocre entertainer, not a mediocre rapper, not a mediocre artist, you know. So, my thing is to make sure motherfuckers having a good time, they feel good about themselves, and that hey, they got a little IG caption that they can use here and now and then, every now and then.
100%. 100%. And I love that. I love that. So, who are who would you say is your biggest inspiration for creating new music? And I have a lot of different answers that I get usually when I ask these questions to individuals. Oh, it's definitely me. Or oh, it's definitely Nicki Minaj or Jesus or you never know what you're gonna hear. But I have to know. Please tell me
You've
who's some of your
already listed the main inspiration. So yeah, Nicki Minaj. And I don't want to sound like that old, you know, same old urban gay black kid that is, you know, dipping into hip hop. But no, I did have earlier inspirations as far as when it came to music, like Michael Jackson, like Aaliyah, like Destiny's Child, and things of that nature. But when I realized that singing, you know, was something that I can do when I was young and not when I hit puberty. You know, I had to, you know, start dipping into other ventures. So I thought rapping was, you know, another faster version of singing. So
mm.
I would dip into that, but it wasn't nothing that I pursued until I listened to The Baddest Bitch by Nicki Minaj. Okay, off of her Sucker Free mixtape. Okay, and
Oh,
when
that's a throwback. That's
bro,
a
bro, I'm talking about MySpace days. I went to my homegirl MySpace page and it started off now every club permitter want to bread like auctions because I pack shows, sell tips like Boston, patch it back how. No, no, that's easy. But that's how it started off, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, so who the fuck is this little rap bitch? And I just seen the name Nicki Minaj. And I was like, there's an Asian rapper out there giving bars like this, you know? And started digging into it because I always was a fan of female rap, like Lil Kim. I loved the whole her verse was my favorite of Lady Marmalade. I just was a fan of female rap because I felt like I could obviously I could relate to that more than I related to male rap. So I
Yeah.
was always a fan of that. So when Nicki came out, of course, that made me want to start digging into rap a little bit more and start, you know, perfecting my craft because I've never seen anybody rap like this, you know? And that's who I still dig into now. When my bitch say, get y'all a tea bag, I know you bitches is testy. I know they need a vacuum. These bitches is messy. I'm like, okay, how you come up with a rhyme scheme like that? How do you come up with a flow and a cadence like that?
She
You
definitely
know
doesn't play
what?
around. She
Oh, she
definitely doesn't
definitely
play
plays
around. I
around.
remember itty bitty piggy freestyle. I remember, I could anywhere with who else was on that? A bunch of people were on that. Man, all Rich Sex is one of her most recent favorites. That was one of the hardest tracks I've heard in a long time. And thank God Lil Wayne didn't like overcrowd it or whatever because
Right.
I didn't want him to mess that one up. But
I didn't want him
I
on the
love what she
song. I
brings.
felt like she could have gave me another virus, to be
Hey,
honest with
I
you.
was hoping for another verse. I didn't want to say it, but I was hoping. I was hoping.
My girl say, if you know your pussy worth a Benz truck. Okay.
I know. She does not. She definitely does not play around. I've always loved the way she can present her. You know, so many different things that people aren't presenting right now. And people say there wouldn't be no blah blah because of unless Little Kim showed up. Listen,
Yeah.
there is only one Nicki Minaj, and everyone should
Okay.
feel that way. Everyone should feel that way.
Okay. It's the versatility. It's the versatility. It's rare that you get it's rare that you get that out of artists these days. It's rare that an artist has an era, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And that's what I as a person I like to tap into. I want to make sure that nothing that I do is the same. Of course, I can give you an ass shaking song, but I want to make sure that I also tap into a more emotional ballad song too. Now I'm starting to tap into, R&B because at once upon a time I felt like I couldn't sing, but it's like, no, you just have to find out your tune, your tone, and what sounds better for you, So I'm tapping into that shit. I'm even tapping into, grunge shit. Y'all better be on the lookout because I might be the next rock artist,
You
rock
never
out with my
know. You
cock
never know.
out.
Reinvent.
Hey,
You can never stop reinventing yourself
never.
because we all change every single day, and I absolutely love that about the music industry. I love that about artistry. I think artists can transcend time and space, and the best way to do it is to keep finding out who you are, and you change with the times. You don't become the same person every day.
Exactly.
Unless you're one of those same rappers who does the same thing with the same flow every time, then it gets washed up, you know?
And
So
that only worked out for Snoop Dogg, okay?
and that
And then
only
he
worked out.
had to switch it. He had to switch it up with the sexual seduction. He had
I
to
know.
switch it up a little bit.
And now Malice in Wonderland was a fire album. I still listen to I Wanna Rock Right Now all the time. All the time. I listen to all the time. Well, man, do I love what you're doing? Do I love what your story is? Do I love how you took your being treated negatively to making it your positive and
And
how
always have to.
100% your positive outlook on life, your ability to present things that might not be presented right now. I don't know any rapper like you or artist or entertainer, should I say. I do not know one like
That
you. I think
is the greatest compliment you could give me. Hey, I don't know, Mrs. Laura, he gonna have to take me on a date after this, okay? Because like
man.
my G
Not-
is telling me all the right words right now. Now let me
no,
stop.
no, I'm saying this because it's a fact. You have
No,
different ways
thank you.
that set you apart from other people. You really do.
Thank you.
And I admire that about what you do. Um, I I've never been able to be a big fan of, up and coming artists until I was able to listen to and kind of tap into what you do in the background behind the scenes. I watched all your live shows. I've watched all of them, and because I wanted to know who you were, and you can see it. You can see it. You are in your zone. You're in your moment. Some people find find their
That's
moments
my
where they're
safe
really
place.
living life. When they're really living life, some people shoot for it. Some people snort for it. Some people sweat for it. You are just entertaining for it. And that's when you feel the most alive. And I love the fact that you're able to find that. And you also show it, you give it to other people. You give it to other people. And I really do
It,
appreciate that.
it's definitely a safe place for me, my G. And whenever I'm on the stage, you wouldn't believe that I'm having what's the word, stage fright for them first 10 seconds. You wouldn't believe it. You would think this guy's to come natural to him. He must get a kick out of this. No, I be fucking scared shitless. I always go into it like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't forget my words. Oh my gosh, how am I going to captivate them in this way? I hope they sing my music with me. I always go into thinking like that. And then soon as the beat drop, I get those first few words out. Whatever happens on the stage is happening on the stage.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think that can be applicable to so many different things. One of my favorite experiences of when I feel like alive and not living is when I realized that I was living in a shell. I was a shell of a human being. I was scared to do different
Preach.
things. I was scared to I was terrified. I wouldn't even say scared. I was terrified to branch outside of myself, even go out. Like, and this applies to my veteran transition. I wasn't able to really find out how to get out of that bubble, that box that I put myself in, because I was listening to all the things that people told me through life. You're never going to be successful. When you get out of the Navy, you're going to collapse. You're not going to be able to, okay, you're doing so good here. Why would you give up on yourself? Those words are the ones that stood out to me the most. And being able to find out who I was outside of the military with just a simple conversation, finding out who somebody is and sharing that somebody with the rest of the world. There's so much beauty that comes with hearing your story and listening to other people tell their worst fears, their biggest triumphs. And you are definitely going to have some triumphant moments in the future, my friend. I can tell you that wholeheartedly. I have nothing but faith and belief in you, and I can't wait to see what's next, because it's always something new. You're never stop changing for the
Make them
better.
know it.
And I'll tell you what, the day you suck, I'll let you know, but you're getting better and better and better. So please never stop chasing your dream, because you're rocking, man.
No, you make that make sense out of motherfucking dollars, and I just can't. I thank you so much. I thank you for the platform. I thank you for having this open dialogue with me. When you said being in that bubble and things of that nature, yes, it definitely happens. I would say I had been in one my whole entire life up until just a couple of years ago. Like I would say it took me to go through what's that called? SARP? Is it SARP? It's not SAPper. It's not
Not
SAPper.
Sapper. It's not
It's
Sapper.
not SAPper. It's SARP. It took
Sarp.
me to go through SARP to actually stop giving a fuck what people thought about me, stop caring what people say. And although I still have those moments of, God damn, is people gonna vibe with me? God damn, is this gonna be what is going to attract a crowd? But at the end of the day, if I'm happy with it with myself, if I wind up giving myself that enough agreement to where I'm comfortable enough to be like, it doesn't care what anybody say. You motherfucking did that, you ate it up, or whatever the situation may be. If I gave it my all, and I know I gave it my all, and I know that somebody's going to resonate with it, at least one person, if I get one like or one view, I'm satisfied. It don't take a million to pump me up, okay, unless it's coming with $1 million. But other than that, yeah, I don't need no motherfucking recognition or praises unless it's from some real motherfuckers and you fall underneath that umbrella.
I appreciate
I,
that.
I like you said, if you was to ever tell me I suck, I'm gonna take that as, God damn, he ain't doing nothing but telling the truth. Let me motherfucking go back and revise that. Maybe it's something that I could have did, and then we'll go from there.
Well, I appreciate that. I try to be honest with everybody. I felt like there's enough liars and lies in the world, and I don't want to be a
Come
part of
on.
that shit. Fuck no.
Yeah, don't be a Liza
Fuck no.
Minnelli. Don't be
Well,
no
I
Liza Minnelli.
yeah, hell no, I ain't been lying and shit. So I just wanted to say that I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being authentic. I call it raw and authentic. If you're not that, I really can't vibe with you, and
You
it's something I
need
just can't
to
do.
brand that. I like that.
I'm
You
about
need
to
to
put on a
brand that.
t-shirt. My wife got me a
Yeah,
t-shirt pressed for Christmas. I'm about to press them bitches out. Yes, Lord.
yeah, authentic. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, send me one.
I'm gonna write it down. Hold on, I gotta write it down. I gotta write it down.
I'll
Raw
support that.
and chick.
Yeah.
I'll probably make them this week. It is what it is. So I would definitely send you one, and we're gonna rock with it. I really wanted to say that you're a powerful soul, and you're not just a
Thank
great
you.
person, because we all keep having to aspire to be great. You never become great by just saying, okay, I'm great now. You keep aspiring and working towards greatness. And that's what makes great people. Because while you're in that journey, it's when you learn all the lessons of life. You learn how you have an impact on others and all these amazing things, right? So I appreciate you being raw authentic, because it's needed. It's needed to say, hey, you know what? I don't
Thank
give a shit
you.
what y'all think about me. I'm gonna keep working hard at what I do. I'm gonna be who I am. And you know what? If you don't like me,
Big
that's
fat.
okay. I don't need you. I don't need you to give me a pat on the back, because I'm gonna do it for my damn self.
Exactly. Give myself my own motherfucking roses.
100%. 100%. Well, I appreciate your time and thank you so much for joining me for this, man.
Oh man, no, thank you so much for, welcoming me to your platform. I can't wait. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again because this was amazing. We took shots, you made me feel like I was at home in my living room just having a conversation. So I
Mhm.
appreciate this.
That's exactly what I strive for here, to be honest. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. We have a lot of different topics we talk about here, from domestic violence, active shooters, some heavy shit. We talk about some heavy shit. And with this platform, I'm able to have anonymous guests because we don't show the face of who we are
Yeah,
unless it's okay with the
unless they
person who
want
we
to.
have on. And that's what I love about this. It's very different than you won't catch me having a conversation that's scripted. You won't catch me having to say something that, I might triple my words. I might say fuck way too many times, or I might
What?
completely
I know they like,
ruin it.
damn, is he gonna keep saying one thing and two things for sure? I'm
Cause like I
sorry, y'all.
said, yeah,
I
you
swear
put
I'm
that
gonna
on a
try and
shirt.
open up my vocabulary. I've been working on my public speaking. I swear I have.
Oh, yeah, put that on a shirt. You did put that on a shirt for sure. But yeah, we try to do different things here and give everybody the platform they deserve to open up and be honest about who they are. Who do you see behind social media? Who do you I
Right.
personally want to know. So I make it a point to learn. And it's not always a happy episode, but this one definitely is. But it's not always
Yeah.
nice. It's not always fun. And I'm able to do that because of what I try to do. I try to make people feel comfortable. I try to make it known that you're not weak for having the shit beat out of you as a mother in front of your children, and finally having the tenacity, not courage, but tenacity to to escape,
Hmm.
all the worries. So that's what really means a lot to me, to be able to do that. So I appreciate it. I want you to feel right at home on Eddie Off the Deep End podcast or whatever. I don't even like my name in it. So just Off the Deep End podcast. It's not
Off
about
the
me. It's about my
deep.
guests.
Off the motherfucking deep.
Yes, Lord. It's about my guests. It really is. And I appreciate you. So you know what? Oh shit. One more. All right. One more,
Yeah,
one
we're
more
gonna
shot
take
to
a
close it
shot.
out.
Yeah, we gotta take a shot to that.
All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for your camaraderie, for
Thank
engaging in this great
you.
conversation. And I would also just like to say thank you to everybody who's tapping in and listening. This has been another episode of Off the Deep End Podcast. If you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what
yeah,
he
yeah.
does, if you like what he stands for, if you
Mm.
want to get connected, the links are going to be posted in the description as always. And make sure to head to the Facebook page, Eddie Lowry Off the Deep End Podcast. If you have a story you'd like to share, hit me up. It's not that hard. Just slide in my DMs. We can figure this thing out. So
Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, my brother. I love your music and I can't wait for the next project. So everyone be on the motherfucking lookout for it. And that's a motherfucking fact.
Yes, that's a motherfucking fitting.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tapping in and bye-bye.
You